Folks, we're going to head out to Devil's Lake, North Dakota right now and talk with Dave Tice, who's been with McQuaid Outdoors for a number of years, and I've had the pleasure of fishing with Dave. Actually shot the best ice fishing show I've ever filmed in my life out there with Dave a few years ago. Giant perch, walleyes, northern pike, you name it. Dave Tice from Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Always good to see you, Dave. Before we talk about fishing, though, you had a really neat experience elk hunting recently. What happened, buddy?
Well, I got an unbelievable offer from a nice couple over by Helena, Montana. They invited us out to do some elk hunting and stay at their place. So we went out there, and it's always been a dream hunt of mine. It's to go elk hunting. Never happened with my dad, but I was fortunate to bring my son last week, and boy, I tell you, it was an experience like I've never had before. It was the whole thing every day was just amazing.
And both you and your son got a beautiful elk.
Yeah, we did. We went out, we saw elk every morning, every evening. Had an encounter on day 4, and I missed. I didn't have a rest for my gun. It was kind of a long shot, and I missed. But on the morning of day 6, we climbed to the top of the mountain, and we had seen some about a mile away. So we double timed it over in that direction, and we were expecting them to stay on that one hillside, and we'd catch them at about three to 400 yards. As we approached the top of this hill, they're right there. They came across onto the same hill we were on. We seen them at about 50 yards, and we dropped down and got ready and waited. And my elk stepped out at about 15 yards. So I took 2 shots, and he fell over, and then my son stepped off to the side of me and started shooting at his, and his fell over at about 150 yards. So it was amazing. I couldn't have ever drawn it up for our first elk hunt to both shoot them at the same time and for those elks to show up that close. It was just really, really cool.
Great father-son experience. Now, I got to talk ice fishing, buddy, because Devil's Lake is kind of like the ice fishing capital of the universe, and I guess the first thing, as far excuse me, as far as guys looking for ice conditions, is there a place they can go to kind of? Is your Facebook have the ice conditions usually?
Yes, there's a thing on Facebook for McQuaid Outdoors, McQuoid
Okay.
Outdoors.
Good, and you'll have ice conditions on there. But I guess for when we're talking about mid-December through January, Devil's Lake is fishing good early ice out there.
Generally, it's really good for the walleyes. We always seem to have a real good early ice bite for the walleyes. They tend to be real shallow. A lot of times we catch them in that 3 to 8 feet.
Wow.
Yep. Early ice, I like to target sandy bottoms and timber and the timber. I don't concentrate so much on the rocks early. They seem to be shallow in the sand. That's for whatever reason. That's where I find them. As we get going in that early ice and we target the walleyes, my guys can fish those, and I go around and I search for the perch. We do catch a few perch here and there that first couple weeks, but by the time we get a couple weeks into the season, we'll find some perch somewhere, and then everyone that wants those yellow bellies come out and we get them.
I know a lot of guys enjoy coming out there too, and tip-up fishing for pike. Is that any good early?
Well, it can be good. Tip-up fishing this last winter was a lot better than the spearing because we seem to have such dirty water everywhere.
Right.
To find the good clean water for spearing, we had to really drive a long ways, but that was hard to do because we didn't feel that we had really many other options where we found the pike. So we almost had to pick and choose. Either we're going spearing today or we're going angling today.
Okay.
But if we got good clean water, then we can have some good spearing experiences early.
Okay, one other question that I wanted to ask you, buddy. The best time for the jumbo perch then is usually after Christmas, would you say?
Well, it seems January is always our best month because we're never sure when we're going to get on the ice in December. By the time we get into January, we found them, and I tell people all the time, fresh fish are your best fish.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at in the month of January is you got you got these fish that haven't been picked on for 3 to 4 months. When you find them, they're hungry, and that's when we seem to really pile them up, and then it kind of slows down just a little bit, but it's fairly consistent all winter until that last ice, and then the last ice bite can really be phenomenal. And of course, the later in the season you get, the larger the egg sacs get in these fish. So when you get into March and April, that's when you catch your heaviest fish. But still, we'll catch them 14 or 14 and a half inches off and on all season. But if you really want the true trophy to go on the wall, coming in the month of April is the best because their eggs are so big and they're just so fat and heavy.
Yeah. Before I let you go, though, I want to mention, folks ask me about fishing Devil's Lake. I always say, hey, hire a guide. And McQuaid Outdoors, you guys, what do you provide for the anglers that come out from Minneapolis or Milwaukee or Chicago?
Well, we've got really nice accommodations for them to stay in, and that's really huge for a lot of people. We hear a lot of compliments on our nice lodging facilities, so that's a compliment to our hard work and making sure everyone's got a nice place to stay. Really, all they need to bring is some warm clothes to handle that cold weather for a few minutes from the truck to the fish house. Or if they're tough enough to fish outside, you need warm clothes for that. But all you need to bring is maybe a couple snacks and a few beverages for out in the fish house, because we pick you up in the morning, you bring me out, we serve a hot lunch every day. Mainly it's a hot soup, but sometimes we do burgers and brats. And we've got all the fishing equipment. We all have more than enough Vexilars for everybody to use. We have the rods, the reels, the tackle. So I mean, you could literally come out with nothing, and we've got everything that you need. And even if you're short on clothing, every single one of us guides have got a closet full of extra clothing to make sure that everyone stays warm and comfortable.
Well, I've been out there with you. You guys are tremendous. It's a great fishing experience. And yes, your lodging is awesome, and you also even have heated fish cleaning facilities, right?
Yeah, we put a 12 by 20 addition onto one of our houses, and that just really makes the whole fish cleaning experience a whole new experience in itself, because it's big enough to where we can get 2 or 3 guides cleaning fish, and there's enough room for 6 to 8 guys to stand around the table, and we have a couple cocktails or drink sodas, whatever beverage you want. We have a commercial fish fryer right in that room, so as we clean fish, you can cook fresh fish. Of course, you can feed the guides. We're like seals at the zoo. So, you can feed us all you want. And it's really a great social event. It's really cool because there's a lot of services. They don't clean your fish, or if they do, they don't want you in there bugging them when you're cleaning fish. And we really, truly enjoy that part of the day, because now we're done working. Now it's just time to wind down, clean fish, get to know everybody, and try to build lasting relationships, because we really count on our return clientele, and we enjoy talking to people, getting to know them personally, and building those friendships.
Well, cool, buddy. And I'll see you soon. I'm going to get out there. When am I coming out? January or February?
I believe it's going to be around that 15th or 20th of February is what we're looking at.
Sounds good, buddy. Dave, always a pleasure. Have a great Thanksgiving, buddy.
You too. Thank you.
All right, Dave. Thanks.